Call of Duty is maybe one of the longest running series out there. To be fair to it, the game has evolved with time and seems to be living by the adapt or die method, with it starting as a kind of simple World War game and then going modern war and then jumping questionably forward in time, then back to modern day again and then back to the past. We also got some zombies and a battle royale. It's safe to say it has gone through a lot of changes through the years, and looking at Call of Duty compared to other big war games like Medal of Honor and Battlefield, it feels like Call of Duty could be the best out of the three. But it's not like Call of Duty has been the stable game over the years. Now with the accusations of the studio behind the game could mean that even more eyes are on Modern Warfare 2, and with that comes some more worries.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Welcome to the Mumbling Game. On today's we'll be mumbling about Modern Warfare 2, and if we should be worried about it. It's definitely a weird one to mumble about because it's a yearly release, what I usually dip in and out of through the years. And usually, depending how worried I am about it, will make me decide whether I buy the game or not. And really, you have to buy the game close to the release date to get your money's worth. With all that in mind, there's still a lot more to worry about. Before that, please give this video a like and subscribe for future mumbles. We have something a bit weird as we got to try the game before buying it with the beta, but focused on the multiplayer. I have maybe seeped in around It feels like I've already played a lot of the game, but also not at the same time, with only playing on the 4 of the maps and only really playing one mode. I am a simple man. I will finish the campaign and play mostly team deathmatch for the year. Looking at the multiplayer at the minute, it's pretty good. Really, what I've seen of the game doesn't make me worry, but it's what we don't know what makes us worry about Modern Warfare 2. Something that only really happens with Call of Duties, it does happen with some of the games but not that many, is the yearly releases. And with that comes a lot of issues. I mean, every year we have that worry that it will be shit. We're not working with Pokemon here where the graphics don't really matter. This is meant to be a realistic shooter set in the modern day. Something that can ruin the experience and comes a lot more with yearly releases is bugs. It feels like bugs are now the industry norm of releases. It's bound to happen when 1 million people come with a stick and try and poke a hole into your creation. One or more is going to obviously hit a weak spot. However, with the yearly releases, if these bugs are, say, breaks the game for a month, that's £5.80 of the game's worth. If this happened to any other game, it could easily go back in the backlog for a month, but with a yearly release, that backlog is on a timer, and a game-breaking glitch costs me a lot of money, what makes me worried. Added to this is the October release date of most of the Call of Duties. This could mean if there's a bug or glitch that ruins the experience of the game, the developer could be looking at it right now and not have the time to fix it and just carry on finishing that Rust 3.6 map instead. Don't worry yet though, because there is worse things to worry about. Something that has evolved through multiplayer, birthed from the depths of the 7 circles of hell, made in the darkest world of Warcraft, molded into something no mere man can defeat by the supreme being of the computer, hackers. All competitive games will most likely have a hacker. At the minute, I don't think I've really came across a hacker that has ruined my personal experience, but I have came across the videos and they look scary. So it's kind of a worry to me, lurking in the darkness, ready to strike, as it hasn't really affected me yet. And then we go on to something that worries maybe a 50% of the player base. This being the place where hackers cannot live, the campaign. Does usually play second fiddle to the multiplayer in Call of Duty. This has made the campaign go up and down in quality massively over the years, with some years even being skipped. Then we had Modern Warfare 2019, had a decent campaign and returned fan favourites to the series like Price. The campaign was good as well, and it looks like the game will follow the last game with the same characters. There's still confusion on what the hell is actually going on with this story. It does follow the game released in 2019. The original trilogy also had the same characters with the same name, where a lot of the main characters died and are back in this series, making it feel like the game is set in a different timeline and therefore has a completely different story. The characters were always fan favourites, so it's not surprised after 15 years they'll bring them back for that Mun.
What inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab right next door to the original?
Money!
Also, bringing these back will likely connect to Warzone 2.0. We're not here to talk about Warzone though, as honestly I don't really care much about it. What is interesting in the worry department is that the story will be connected between Warzone and Modern Warfare 2 as it was in 2019 with Modern Warfare 1. And if you missed live events and cutscenes of Warzone to around about 2019 to 2020, with the only thing I remember about that is Price and the nuke without any research, and it's not like I could go back to play that story. Do we all just have to watch YouTube to catch up? That is an option, but it's pretty boring in comparison to playing the game. I'll most likely play Modern Warfare 1 before 2's campaign, but what the hell is with this? I've got to install Warzone to play any Call of Duty. Nobody has the space for that. If I have to reinstall Persona 5 again, I will cry. Looking at the campaign though, I'm hoping for maybe a good 6 hours of shooting and explosions in the modern day with some great graphics rather than 4 stealth elements what were good in the past. And if they can somehow bring that atmosphere, great, but if it's anything like the Saints Row remake, just throw that stealth section out, as it was dreadful. If you're a campaigner of the Call of Duty series like me, you surely have these similar worries for this upcoming game. Then we have my final worry of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the only thing that most people will play and buy the game for. The biggest part of the game will be the multiplayer, and the worry is, could the multiplayer be lacking? Over the years, a lack of actual maps and content has been a problem. With the induction of seasons and content sprinkled out through the year, it has started to feel like the base game has been lacking in quality and content. Also, the lack of maps throughout the whole period of the game is a worry. Lately, it has just been returning glorified maps from the past. I'm happy with the classic return, but it just feels a little bit weird. The original Modern Warfare 2 had some of the best maps of Call of Duty, but the fact that I don't think I saw a map I can compare that to in the modern games makes me worry a bit. The fact that we'll probably not see many maps at the start of the release of the multiplayer is a worry and a bit weird, as we will after that be drip fed older maps instead. This feeding that nostalgia bug of the old games but not giving any new content for it either. This goes back to the yearly release. It feels like we should get a lot more maps at the beginning and not just in 6 pieces throughout the years. 7 maps doesn't seem like a lot compared to the other games. The other games as well, they did have other modes like zombies, where you could say that the maps were split in between. The lack of maps could be explained through that, but Modern Warfare 2 doesn't have any other reason to not have more maps. It could be that they've put more effort into the campaign, but it's very likely they're just putting more effort into Warzone 2.0 rather than the maps for the online. A weird worry, because we will most likely get more maps down the line, but that pretty lackluster launch will affect the players. Let's just hope that first season update comes quick and it's a pretty decent one, especially if you don't like playing Warzone. Maybe there is a little bit extra in the campaign what we don't know about currently, but for online only players who just play the multiplayer and also don't give a shit about Warzone, they're going to be struggling for the first couple of months. In summary, I think everyone who plays Call of Duty on a yearly basis or a year on and off basis do have these worries and will continue to have these worries over the coming years. It's highly possible Modern Warfare 2 will be one of the best selling Call of Duty games out there, bringing back old maps, old characters and fan favourite things of the series as a whole. But it still feels like the series of Call of Duty needs a breath of fresh air, some big changes for it to continue on that hype throughout the years to come in the future. I don't think Warzone is that change. It's highly possible now changes may come to Call of Duty in the near future with Xbox involvement in the acquisition of Activision, but currently we have near no information on how that will change anything, but it's highly possible. It's very likely that Modern Warfare 2 could be one of the best selling Call of Duty games out there, so we're definitely going to see more games down the line if these worries come true or not. It's not like any other game where a failed game could mean we could never see a game in the series again. This game seems like it's never going to die, even though some players probably want it to. Or just a brief hiatus to update everything to the current standard of games. Very likely that Call of Duty's future is already set in stone, but still these worries are there every year. But another shit year of Call of Duty means another year of not playing or buying Call of Duty, and that's not good for anyone. And that's it for this mumbling about. If you're still here, and that's unlikely, so I can mumble about anything I want, like that light doing my head in, my crisps there, a little brush. I can mumble about my little brush if you want. I can mumble about my new slippers. My Mandalorian slippers. And that is it for mumbling about. Thank you, and I will see you on the next mumble. And if you did get to that section, please comment below the weird thing I mumbled about at the end of this video. Thank you, and I will see you on the next mumble.